Hi and welcome to the Sew Essential vlog. I'm Lucy and I'm here today to talk you through my latest makes. As always, the patterns and the fabrics I talk about today are all available on our website. You'll find the link to our website and the patterns and the fabrics below. There's also a link to our blog where I share tutorials and techniques and more details if you want to get on and have a look at those, and all my makes are on there as well. So quickly, just to let you know what I will be sharing with you, I'll be sharing this, which is my new favourite, all-time favourite denim skirt ever. So excited about this one. Finished it yesterday and could not wait to wear it today. And I'll also be talking about this top, which is a wardrobe workhorse as well. It's my Kwik Sew 4069 turtleneck top, which I've made before, and I've made it in a new colour and I just absolutely love it. So yes, let's get started. So the denim skirt is Burda 6252. I should say as well, I'm trying a different camera angle for you for the makes today. I hope you like it. Hopefully you get to see things a bit better and I'm not climbing up on the stool as well. But yeah, this is Burda 6252, which is a simple A-line skirt pattern. There's an option for an ankle length version as well. It's supposed to have patch pockets on the front. And then there's options for piping as well around the waistband with the longer version in the pattern. But I chose to do a false pocket on mine, so I'll just show you that close up. And yeah, it's button down, which I absolutely love. I've wanted to make one of these really since I started sewing, and finally this pattern came out earlier in the year and I finally made it. And there's quite a few indie patterns coming onto the market now as well for this design. There's a Grey 9 Studios one which we stock on the website. But yeah, I'm absolutely in love with it. I made it in our black denim, which has probably got a slight bit of stretch to it, which is always nice for comfort. But just it was absolutely lovely to work with. The colour of it is gorgeous. It's not like 100% deep dark black. It's slightly, I wouldn't say grey, but it's not that like really solid black. But it is dark enough to look really smart. Lovely to work with, as I say. So the pattern, I did make quite a few alterations. I decided I didn't want patch pockets on the front. I wanted a really smooth finish for this skirt. So I took the patch pocket piece, drew the curve onto the front skirt pattern piece and then cut that out. And then the little corner section that I'd cut out, I lengthened with some tissue paper so that it would overlap underneath the curve on the front skirt piece that I'd created. And then I used the pocket facing to finish the edge of the front skirt piece. And then sewed the corner piece in place, and then overlocked the curve so that the pocket facing and the denim sort of corner piece were joined together, and it gave me a really lovely neat finish. I knew it was going to be quite a fitted skirt, so I didn't want a pocket, but I knew I didn't want patch pockets, and I could have made a real internal pocket. But I didn't want to do that either because I would have had pocket bags coming across here, and when I've done that in the past I've found it a little bit annoying because you quite often get that line across there even if you use cotton lawn or something. So I decided to make these false pockets so that I'd got that little bit of detail, but I didn't have any of the bulk, and it just worked out beautifully. It really did. So I'm really pleased with that. I used cotton lawn for the pocket facing so that it minimised the bulk, and then I also finished the waistband in the same cotton lawn, and it's a lovely cotton lawn that I used for a penny dress that I made in the summer. So it just gives it that pretty little detail inside, which makes it unique and individual to me, and reminds me of things that you'd buy from places like Ted Baker, which is quite a high-end ready-to-wear high street store here in the UK. They do lots of nice little finishes on their garments like that, so I think it just gives it that nice feel. The other thing is the sizing of this pattern. So normally normally I would make a 12 on the bottom and a 10 on the top in Burda patterns. And the 12 was for, in this pattern, the 12 was recommended for a 27.5 inch waist and a 37-inch hip. Now I am probably like a 28.5, 29-inch waist. So I thought that would be pretty snug on me, but actually when I came to make it, I actually ended up having to make between an 8 and a 10. I made a 12, and I made between an 8 and a 10. I cut down on the size on the waistband. I shaved off about 1/2 inch from a 12 down to in between an 8 and a 10, and then I followed that down onto the skirt piece. So this pattern does come up really big, because actually I was a little bit worried about the fit, but actually if you look, I've got loads of room in the waist there, not too much, it's just right, I think. But you know, considering really by my measurements I should have been making a 14 and I ended up making between an 8 and a 10, you know, I think it does come up big. The hips were really big as well, but I also think that was because it was a very, very exaggerated A-line. It probably would have come out to about here if I'd have stuck with the original pattern. So I just graded that again down to where I wanted it on the toile. I tried it on, pinned it where I would like it, and then I used those markings to transfer onto my pattern pieces and just draw a line to taper everything. And I'm really pleased with the end result. You know, there's still an A-line there which I like with this high-waisted button down look, but it's not too exaggerated. And yeah, it is nice and high-waisted as well. That's the other thing I love about it. I don't know whether it's as I'm getting older, I just really like to wear high-waisted stuff. I feel more comfortable. I feel like it sort of holds me in. I've had 2 children, so, you know, it's nice to have something that sort of feels snug and flat across your belly instead of feeling like you're hanging over like some hipsters or something. So that was another bonus. But you know, once I'd made those alterations, which were very, very simple to make, they probably sound complicated on here, but actually you know, you wouldn't have to do the pocket if you didn't want to. And size wise, all I did was size down and taper the A-line. You know, this was a super simple sew. It was really an easy make. It came together beautifully. I really enjoyed making it. It was a lovely project to kick off the new year with, because it wasn't overly complicated. I had to use my brain a bit to think about the pockets and that sort of thing. But you know, there were some nice techniques on here as well. Buttonholes, obviously we did a video couple of weeks ago about buttonholes and our top tips for those, so I always enjoy making those. I used our jeans buttons, which you just hammer into place. I used those, and yeah, it was just a super duper project. Had a lot of fun with it, really enjoyed it, and it's something that I know I am going to wear and wear and wear and wear. And even in the summer, there were quite a few times in the summer where I thought, oh, if I had a black denim skirt, that would go really well with this top, or so I know I'll wear it then as well. So I think that's pretty much everything I need to say about the skirt. As I say, the fabric was lovely to work with. I used a jeans needle, of course, and I used some of our sort of more medium weight interfacing as well, and that gave me a really nice finish and was really good for the placket or the button stand. I just interfaced those pieces. I don't think the pattern told you to do that, but I just put a strip of interfacing down where the placket and the button or the button stand was going to be, just to give it that extra stability for when I was sewing the buttonholes, and just generally because they're going to be holding those buttons in place. But yeah, all in all, I'm really, really pleased with this. I'd love to make a blue denim one as well, but I don't know whether I'll do that. I have got a lovely blue nest skirt. Oh, and that's the other thing. I did use a technique from Tilly and the Buttons as well. Her nest skirt, which is another denim skirt, which I absolutely love. Instead of doing a real flat felled seam, she overlocks one seam allowance, trims the other seam allowance down, and then presses the overlock one over the trimmed one and top stitches down from the right side. Love that technique. Used it in this skirt because at the end of the day, the real flat felled seams can be a bit fiddly, a bit hit and miss. You don't always catch all the fabric properly, but that technique is much easier and gives a beautifully neat finish as well. So I did do that as well. Oh, and I should actually say the other thing about the sizing of this pattern is it was incredibly short. I lengthened it by over 2 inches. So all I do when I do that is just get my tape measure and just mark on some tissue paper all the way along the hem an extra 2 inches or whatever. But yeah, it was just over 2 inches I lengthened it by. And if you look, this is actually for me quite a short skirt. My knees there, the top of my knees there, so it is quite a short skirt. So if I hadn't shortened it, I mean, it would have been up here somewhere. And that's the thing with some of the Burda patterns. I love Burda patterns. I think the fit generally normally is very good. This pattern seems to be out, but generally I find the fit really good. I think they do some fantastic designs. Sometimes the pattern packet styling is awful and you have to see past that. But generally I really like them, and I really like the designs. On to the next pattern, the Kwik Sew 4069 turtleneck pattern. So this is a tried and tested, loved pattern for me. It's a really quick, simple make, so I can whip this up in probably 2 or 3 hours. It's just comfortable. I've made it in our Isabella wool jersey, which if you haven't used this stuff or haven't had any of it, you should give it a try because it is absolutely beautiful. It's super soft. It washes and wears beautifully. I've got a top that I made in it that's 3 or 4 years old now, and I've worn lots and washed lots, and it's still in beautiful condition. It comes in a range of colours, so I absolutely love this gorgeous claret colour, but I'm also a sucker for the teal. There's a French navy, there's like more of a reddy red, I think there's a charcoal, and then I think there's like a silvery grey colour. They're all on the website anyway, get on and have a look. Oh, there's a purple as well, but it is beautiful stuff, lovely to wear, really nice at this time of year, and also taking you through that sort of weird transitional time when it's not quite warm enough yet to wear spring clothes, but it's not cold enough to be wearing big thick jumpers. These sorts of things are great, and they're great for layering. It's great for layering in the colder winter months as well. So yeah, really lovely fabric to work with. So Kwik Sew 4069, I made a size small, and then I tapered out at the waist because the small was the right size for me on the bust and the hips, but it was a lot smaller than my waist, so I just tapered it out slightly there. I made my forward shoulder and high round back adjustment as I always do because I am hunched forward, so I always have to do that in every top pattern to give me a better fit. The neckband, I always, with turtlenecks and polo necks, I always like to make the neckband up first, try it on, check I'm happy with the fit. If I'm not, shorten it, take it off, try it on, and so on until I'm happy with the fit. And that's what I did with this, because I think the neckband does come up quite big. We had somebody say that they felt the neckband does come up quite big and baggy, but all you need to do is just try it on, shorten it, try it on. Always try it on before you attach it to the top, because then you know it fits and you're happy. But yeah, it's lovely and cozy and warm. I'm really happy. I used my overlocker to make the whole thing, and then I used the cover stitch part of my overlocker to cover stitch the hems on the sleeves and the hem on the top. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. I'll give you one last little show of the skirt and the top. Really enjoyed making these, really enjoyed sharing them with you, and I know I'm going to love wearing them too. If you like what you see today, please like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.